This mini reading is for Danielle. So, what we're going to do is look at your big six and see what it says about your personality. And the sheet that you're looking at, I'm going to send to you so you can have a reference and a little organized input of some energy going on in your chart. So, the first part I like to look at is the big three, starting with the rising sign, how you interpret new experiences, how people feel when they first meet you, the lens at which you're kind of perceiving your world around you. And it's in the sign of Libra. So the interesting thing about a Libra rising is that all of the signs following on the houses are going to be inversely related to the house that it's sitting on. So where you have a peaceable nature because of the Libra rising, you can have this challenge to find peace in all of the dualities and paradoxes of life. So you're naturally gifted and challenged with the ability to see both sides of the situation and experience the shadow and the light side of each experience that you have. But over time, that winds up making you a more level headed person and a very balanced person in how you can perceive the world and people. You're able to see good things in people that maybe have had a bad reputation. And then you're able to see when someone's just trying to smooth you over, you can kind of look and see the other truths to them too. And then that goes through all of the houses. You can see both sides of a situation where sometimes other rising signs don't have that ability and gift. But when you first meet into the situation, a new person, you're going to be the type of person that appears sociable and peaceable and wants harmony, but there's also an intellectual a component to you and a grace, and some people would even say a charm of being able to be likable. It's the ability to read people and see the sign of the partnership is Libra. So Libra is really gifted at seeing the person of what they need from the situation and what they expect. And you're able to kind of be changeable in a way that you can hone in on what somebody really needs and wants from you and then be that reflection. And that's why Libra gets a lot of like sociable grace credit, because it is a rare ability to just be able to pick up on other people's needs so easily and naturally. If there's a room that has unbalanced energy, you can go in and bring it back to a balance because of that skill that you possess. So the next part is the sun, which is, where we would, most people would identify as our most obvious characteristics. And if you feel off balanced in your life, the place that you can most focus on to be feeling like yourself again. So when all else fails, they say follow the sun and you'll feel warm inside and like you're shining bright in your own life again. So for you, that is Leo in the 10th house. So it's like this public energy. When you are in the public eye and you are given responsibility and people are noticing your efforts, that's where you really shine. You can be really enthusiastic and really generous and really creative under pressure. Under the 10th house and so close to your MC, your sun is in a wide conjunction, 7 degrees. So it's not as powerful, but it's still that kind of, you know, being in the spotlight doesn't bother you. You can handle the pressure of people looking at you and expecting things from you, and you actually do even better. So you might be somebody who does really good at just improving and making things work in the moment. And people see you as somebody who's like really confident and capable and enjoys what they're doing in life. You have this public energy because you have a lot of energy in your 10th house. And this is a mini reading, so we're not going to get into all the details. But with that fire element in the house of public reputation, It means that you have this gift that you need to share on a not a private, keeping it to yourself and close friends. It's on a public level of sharing your talents with a bunch of people. And in the 10th house, in like a supervisory kind of role, people look up to you either in a career of as being a boss or a leader, or in the non-paid roles of being like a community leader, a volunteer efforts, whatever your I say volunteer because you also have 11th house, which gives you like a humanitarian edge, but it's just a social, influential situation where many people learn and respect and follow you and regard you as some kind of skilled authority figure. And it's at the top of your chart, so it takes a while in life to get there because to be the master of something, you have to have experience and knowledge and dedication and have gone through abilities of loss and failure to understand and learn those lessons to become the master of something. So it's not something that happens right away, but it's something that over time, your highest ability and your real identity is going to be seen through being like the expert on something and letting your gifts shine through to many. So no pressure there. So let's go to the last part of the big three, which is the moon in Capricorn. So this is our private side, our intimate feelings, our instinctual reactions when we have emotional triggers. And for you, it's in the sign of Capricorn. So that's more of a cooling energy to your otherwise Libra peaceable and Leo sociable, enthusiastic side. There's this other side of you on a deeper you to you and you to the people that you're the most intimately involved with, where you take on this almost like parental role or just this greater responsibility role. And there can be this side of you that almost has like a loner energy where you don't become super vulnerable with like trusting people to really understand where you're coming from and be able to lift you up. Leo sun, you do a lot of lifting other people up with your energy. This optimistic spirit that you have is very like generously bringing other people into levels of confidence in themselves because they see that from you. But on the moon level, you're almost like, I would rather handle this on my own than trust other people with my problems and be vulnerable to them having like an upper hand on my emotional state of mind. So, with that being said, it is in the third house. So, there's this desire, though, to be emotionally connected with people who understand what you're trying to say, to try to connect your feelings on an outward level. Sometimes people with this placement do really well like writing. So like if you keep a journal and you can really put your feelings in it and you don't have to tell people right away how you're feeling, but over time there's this this urge to really communicate your deeper feelings. And when you have it written down, sometimes it gives that Capricorn moon, that perfectionist side of you, the ability to look it through and then be able to deliver the message in a more controlled way. Capricorn doesn't like to be caught off guard. So you're not going to want to just overly spill your beans to people who you don't trust or you don't think that they will understand. Capricorn wants more control than that. So I think that's a good way to still share a message with people and get that communication that you desire with this third house energy, but in a more controlled way, in a less vulnerable way. And the third house is important to you because you also have a lot of energy there, including your north node. And when you have a north node in a house, this is going a little off your big six, but it's important to you because at some point you really are going to be drawn to the ability to interact with people on a personal level and learn what it feels like to have these just like open conversations just for the sake of experiencing another person's perspective. But to be able to do that completely, you have to be willing to do that too, right? Or else it's just one-sided. You don't really desire it to be like an interview with people. You desire over time your soul wants to know how to experience true personal interaction with no expectations and judgments, and in a structured kind of way that's going to benefit all those involved. So your public life is actually sometimes easier for you because you can embody this persona of confidence and competence that you are really comfortable with. So your challenge will be then to take that to the personal level. Are you brave enough to let people see all the way inside of you and connect to you on a deeply emotional, maybe sometimes painful level? Okay, so that was a tangent. Back to the big six is Venus. Let's go there next because we did the big three. So you have the next three will be the Venus, Mars, and Mercury. I like to go Venus first because I just think that is what people like to hear about. Let's talk about your love nature. Yeah, Venus in Virgo. It's not always the easiest placement. I actually have that myself, and it's something that you have to grow into, I believe. The being in a younger age with the Virgo Venus, it can make you a little bit more reserved and shy and less comfortable being openly and interested in other people because of fear of rejection. And Virgo Venus people just have these really high ideals of what they should be like and what their partner should be like. And you have the great gift of seeing the potential in people and in relationships. And that's beautiful because other people would pass, potential partners by because they don't see right now what they are, but you have the ability to see what this person could be and in their greatest sense. And that's nice. But the problem with that sometimes with Virgo Venus is either they get caught up in relationships that have run their course and they should really just let it go. Like this person is never going to be the potential that you want them to be. Or the opposite is true. I'll never even try to get in this relationship because I am not the perfect person that I think this person should or deserves. So it's like this really high perfectionistic side of you in yourself that either makes you just not want to go for these romantic ideas that you want, oh, this person's out of my league. I'm not even going to try. I'm not good enough. Or that they're one day they could change and you're going to try to do that. You're going to hang in there and you're going to fix them so that they can be their best self, and you're going to just give them all your energy and try to save them. This is the sign of the person that's really trying to save their partner and be loyal to them and see them in the best potential light when really it's killing you and you should let them go. So that's the challenge. But in a good note, it makes you somebody that when you are open and things are going well in your ability to love yourself, know that you are worthy, then the nice thing is that you can build a life with somebody and grow together with them. You have all of the staying power and you really do well with structure and loyalty, and you're a problem solver in love. So when things get hard, you're more likely to try to work it out for the greater good than to just run away. And I think that's really beautiful about the Virgo Venus, that they can, they can see that the love is worth it when it's healthy, and they want both parties to be healthy in the relationship. Okay, so let's go to Mars is in also in Virgo in the 11th house. So your drive, what gets you going, what your staying power is like. Mars in Virgo is going to be somebody who's very driven in their ability to see a plan from start to finish in your mind. You might be very detail oriented or analytical. There's this logical side of you that when you want something, you can harness the energy to know exactly how you're going to figure it out to do it and bring it to life. So I really love Earth, Mars sign, or yeah, Earth, Mars signs for this, because not only do they have the ideas, they actually, Earth is all about bringing what's in the mind into reality in a tangible way. So you're very likely to get what you want, especially in the 11th house of dreams and goals and long-term benefits of labor. You also may have a very sociable side to you with Venus and Mars in this conjunction. You're very sociable. People like you, and you benefit from other people because of the friendships that you make. And it helps you move forward to achieving goals in your life through these good relationships you make, either through being established through an organization or a group, or just having friends that are like, hey, I know this about you. Why don't you come do this with me? And then you meet more people, and you might even find your romantic partner that way because of developing a friendship first. In the 11th house, Venus really loves their friends, and sometimes friendships become lovers. Downside to that too, just to keep it real, is that sometimes you become confused with the idea that a friend is a lover. So you have to kind of watch out for that too. But in Virgo, you're more level-headed anyway. So I don't think that's a huge problem for you. You just make deep friendships and a lot of friends, and they benefit you and you benefit them. It's really a beautiful position. So lastly, let's look at Mercury in Leo in the 10th house. That's Mercury in Leo. And the sun in Leo. That just is great because what you speak about, what you think about is really true to who you are. So that helps with the 10th house energy, because that's part of why people really respect you and think of you in this confident, enthusiastic kind of light, because there's just this direct channel of energy between who you actually are and what you actually speak on. And people see that there's this genuineness to yourself. And it gives people like this idea of, wow, like this person's not BSing me. So that's a really nice compatibility right there. And in Mercury, it just makes you very passionate about what you talk about. So you need to find a career then, or a calling, whatever your highest expression of yourself is where you could be excited and engaged and like really passionate, because Leo is a fire sign and you have the sun and Mercury in that energy. So whatever you're doing, it can't be something that is just to get by, or because, you inherited it, or it just kind of fell into your lap. Like, no, you need something that, like, okay, I know this is me and this gets me really excited when I wake up in the morning. I want to do this even if I wasn't getting paid. And it might be something creative because Leo loves to create wherever they go. But it also is something that there isn't a potential to be a leadership role or maybe an entrepreneur of it. Something that you can be a highest expression of this. And that you would do no matter what. This really lights you on fire, and you want to spread the word of this, and you want to be the best of it. That competitive Leo nature too. Like, are there other people doing it? Well, I can do it better, and not in a negative light, but in a, let's keep everyone competitive. Let's keep pushing to make sure that we're always trying our best, because that's where you really shine. Okay, I think that's good for your big six. I hope that was helpful, informative, and let me know if you have questions or if there was anything that you were hoping I would talk about that I missed as far as your big six. I'm happy to go over anything else. Okay, thanks so much.